Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, I'm currently still working on getting through a show in order to review it, but because of lack of time and certain unforeseen circumstances, I'm having trouble getting through it. I haven't gotten very far yet, and unfortunately enough, that's kind of disappointing because I wanted to get this review out last week. But because I'm not capable of doing that, I figured let's do something else. I've been thinking to myself, what I should do, and I came to a conclusion that I can potentially do a little bit of videos, like discussion videos, if you will, to fill the gap between reviews in case I'm doing a longer show. And this kind of came to mind because a few weeks ago I did a video called "What the Fuck is Up" with the first episode of Hunter x Hunter. And I kind of thought, that was kind of a discussion video where I kind of laid down my points, and I just had some very positive feedback from some of the people that watched it, which I really enjoyed doing. So, with that in mind, I thought to myself, that's probably something I can do. So, with that being said, I ask you, what the fuck is up with fan service? To clarify, fan service is something that has been added to any given show or game or anything really to please the fans. Now, when saying fan service in anime, we usually refer to, nudity and that sort of stuff, the over-sexualization of female characters, and sometimes male characters, but almost never. Now, that being the case, I came to think to myself, do we really need it? Is it really necessary? You see, I have a few problems with fan service that kind of bother me, and I wanted to just talk about it. And this kind of came to mind because of my first review, the review of the anime Saikon no Quasar. That review that anime had such terrible fan service with such a bullshit reason, to be honest, that I kind of felt, what was the point of all of that? So I thought to myself, let's talk about it. In fan service animes, you usually get one thing really. You have these animes that have nothing but fan service, like let's say High School DxD or Girls Parvo or To La Fru. Those kind of animes generally are only focused on the fan service, which is kind of disappointing because honestly I feel like those are kind of a waste of potential. Not saying that I have like much against fan service, because honestly I think if done right it can potentially improve a lot and actually give some benefits, potentially add something to any given story. So, with that being the case, why is it that we have so many shows that are just simply there for the fan service? It is so disappointing. And those shows aside, like if you're going to watch those shows, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're not going to stand before any surprises. You're going to have like one or two male characters, a whole bunch of female characters, and just a onslaught of fan service, which, it's a waste of potential and could be something more, but it's not necessarily that bad because you know exactly what you're going to get. The point where I start to have a problem with it is with animes like Saikon no Quasar. This, like, I'll put a link down in the description just to get a reference for you guys to my review of this anime, just for you to understand where I'm coming from. But basically, this anime tried to establish this epic religious story that tried so hard at impressing people, and the story itself was kind of hard to follow, but I think at the very least, if there was a better reason for its fan service, that it might have been a lot better. And this is pretty much because the fan service reason to it kind of ruined the entire show. The entire story was destroyed because of this stupid reason for fan service. But, like, you see, the problem that I have is that there are shows out there that actually do it right, that have a reason for its fan service that is both a good reason and just works, that actually adds something to the story. A recent anime comes to mind. Shit, what was it called again? Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to look this up real fast. This is stupid. I came completely unprepared for this. Here it is. Yosuga no Sora. Now, in case I'm saying that wrong, I'll put the name down of the anime in the description as well, so you can look it up. But basically, this anime had a solid reason for its fan service. Want to know what? Plain and simple, relationships. Yes, characters started dating, became a solid relationship, and eventually had sex. Now, some would argue that this anime isn't an anime, but instead a hentai. I would say no, quite the opposite even, because a hentai, a pornographic animated movie, is basically only there for the sex. That's really all there is to it. Other shows, like this anime, again, Yosuga no Sora, this anime had strong characters, an interesting story, a bit of an irritating ending to be honest, but an interesting story, and had a solid, good reason for the sexual relationships. Just plain simple boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, is it really that hard? Is it such a powerful reason that no one actually thought of this, and that they have to go and have people suck breast milk in order to obtain power so that they can fight? Again, link in the description. I don't understand that. Personally, I believe that animes can get so much more, that they can improve their fan service, still have fan service, but actually have a good reason for it. You don't necessarily have to do, like, things like relationships. You can do a darker story about, I don't know, crime, and have rape being a subject of it. Just throwing ideas. I'm not saying that they should potentially do that, but you know, just thinking of something. I think those kind of things might improve a lot if they start doing stuff like that. And I really would like to see that. Because currently, whenever I talk with someone about anime that has not really watched it that much, or has never really watched it but potentially have seen pictures or something, I usually get one of two answers. Basically people saying, well, isn't that for children? To which I only need to refer to shows like Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Death Note. Those are all shows that have nothing for children. I mean, Ghost in the Shell being a science fiction police political series, and Death Note being a very intelligent psychological thriller. All those kind of things, they have nothing to offer for children, but they have a lot to offer for adults. However, with that being the case, at the same time, I'm also getting a lot of answers where people say, isn't that just animated pornography? And honestly, that is a lot harder to debunk. Mainly because currently we have so many animes that are just focused completely around that sort of stuff that you have nothing to really, well, I suppose you could mention more adult-like shows such Death Note, but at the same time you have far more animes that have bullshit reasons for its fan service. which is really disappointing. When I watch at American television such as Game of Thrones, what I see is a show that, yes, has a lot of nudity, but at the same time also has a complicated and dark story and all that sort of political strife and war and all that sort of stuff that can potentially really improve any given anime. And you can still have fan service, as Game of Thrones has proven. But at the same time, we're not seeing that yet. And I really do hope that at one point we might. I really do. But until we do, I guess we gotta live with it. Anyway, those are kind of my ideas, and this went on much longer than I expected it would be, but those are kind of my ideas of what I feel is right and wrong regarding fan service and what I would like to see to improve. But this being a discussion video, obviously I'd like to know all of your ideas and responses and all that sort of stuff. So post in the comments down below what you feel is, well, what you think might be done to improve fan service, or if you think it's perfect too. Like if you think that it's all fine, then feel free to mention why. I'd like to know that. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I would really enjoy it. And until next time, thank you all so much for watching. See you later. Bye.